Hey everyone. So, we're going to talk a little bit about your upcoming informative speech and also some of the things that you have due. I will tell you, kind of be on the lookout over the next several days. I'm going to record some lecture videos. So, if you actually want to get some lecture in, feel free to watch those videos. Right now, we're going to go ahead and do a screen share to make things easier than me just sitting here telling you everything. All right, so right here we've got our table of content on D2L. So first thing I want you to make sure, please, guys, make sure y'all are keeping up with the schedule. With this only being an 8-week class, there just is not time to get behind. So make sure you know that, sorry about that, guys, that on the 7th, so this Sunday, you have the empathy discussion board that is due. Then on the 14th, we've got two different things due. So a discussion board as well as your outline for your speech. I am going to do an entire little lecture over how to do the outlines and all of that good stuff. But of course, the examples are in the content section. So just please make sure that you are keeping up with this. Your speech is due on February 21st for the informative. So let's go back and take a look at everything for the informative speech. So you're going to find that in the assignments. Just scroll on down. So here we have your informative speech assignment. If you're having a hard time coming up with topics for your speech, feel free to use any of these topics. And this right here, the zombie apocalypse, which has absolutely nothing to do with COVID, I promise. I've been using this one since 2017 and didn't feel like changing it. This is going to be the template for how you're going to do your outline. But again, I will do a lecture over that. If you want to watch it, feel free to. If you think you're good and don't need to, that's okay also. But right now, let's go ahead and look at your informative speech assignment. First, if you noticed when I told you you could look at one of the topics, that is because I do not assign your topic to you. I let you pick your topic. When you're thinking about your topic for your speeches, I want you to first think about passion. What are you passionate about? What is something that you really care about? Then I want you to think about something you know about. You may be passionate about nuclear physics, but if you don't actually know anything about nuclear physics, you probably don't want to do a speech over that. So think about passion, think about what you know, and also kind of think about who you're talking to. What is the group? But again, we're going to get a little bit more into all of that with an actual lecture that I'm going to record for you guys. So, right now, I just want you to start thinking about your actual speech itself. So, it is informative. It's exactly what it sounds like. You're just describing or explaining something to your audience. You're not trying to change their mind about anything. You're not trying to convince them, nothing like that. You get to do that with your persuasive. Your time limit, your speech needs to be between 4 and 6 minutes. You can kind of ignore this part. This is more for the on ground students. With this being a recorded speech, I am going to be pretty strict about the time limit. Since it is recorded, that means obviously if you record your speech and it's only 3.5 minutes, then you know you need to go back and re record it. And I care more about you being under time really than overtime. All of your speeches have to have at least three credible sources. So, by credible sources, basically don't use Wikipedia. Visual aids, I'm going to also do a video lecture over visual aids, but please know that you do have to have a visual aid for your speech. Now, your visual aid can be a PowerPoint, it can be an object, just as long as people are able to see it. But again, I am going to do a video lecture over visual aids. Just know that you have to have one. Do not read your speech, whether in person, recorded, whatever. Do not read your speech. Note cards are great, but make sure that you don't try to write out your entire speech on note cards because then you're going to start reading. So you see here, if you're under or over time, you are going to lose points. It would be best, because this is a public speaking class, that you try to find at least 3 people to watch your speech. I know with COVID and all the craziness going on, that could be a little bit more difficult to do at this point. If you are able to find at least 3 people to watch your speech, then that's really what I want you guys to do. If not, I do understand. As far as the way you record your speech, that really is up to you. You can continue to use Zoom, like I had talked about in the introduction lecture. You can have someone record you. It really is up to you. You can record your speech directly on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you how you have to record your speech. The only thing I care about is that your speech is recorded, that I can actually hear you, and things like, make sure when you record it that nothing weird happens and you end up being sideways or something crazy like that. Make sure that you do post it to YouTube. Just like with the introduction speech, you will be sharing the link to your speech in the discussion board. There is already one set up. For this particular speech, you do have to comment on at least 2 of your classmates' videos. And it talks about that in the instructions for the discussion board. That is part of a grade. If you do not comment on your classmates, then you will not get a grade for the critique part. So please make sure you do actually comment on your classmates. I think that is pretty much it. Like I said, I am going to record a few lecture videos before your speech is due. I'm going to record one that talks about how to do your outline. I'm going to record one that talks about visual aids, things like that. So if you have any questions, please make sure you email me. It is much better to email me through APSU email versus D2L email. Again, hopefully this is going to go pretty smooth for everyone. It really should. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting. And again, if you guys have any questions, then make sure you send them to me.